Hey, just want to make everybody aware of something that's out there, that's been out there for quite a long time now. Can't really say what he is doing is against the law, but what he does is very misleading and can inadvertently cause you to break the law, and not knowingly either. So, because of the lack of information um, given and its chosen lack of information. But this is information you can find out there anywhere. But this is all about Dr. J. Holder. Okay. I'm not going to point out any other companies because I don't know from my experience at all anybody else that's actually training people to do this. Um, I do know people that are scamming people out there. And I'll tell you about Jim Neely later. James Neely, South Florida, worked for Laser Concepts and North American Laser when they first opened up. Um, but anyway, to the point, Dr. J. Holder. He is a chiropractor. Um, and he is a very tall Jewish man, big old beard, Hebrew, I guess. Uh, Teaches uh, smoking cessation and weight control on this side, mostly smoking cessation. Um, and I went to his class in Las Vegas because I figured, why not take a little mini vacation? Well, check this out. He walks into the class with a pipe in his mouth. I'm like, okay. Kind of a funny guy, kind of entertaining in a way. Um, Always threw you off guard. When you look at him, you would never think he's anything like he is. After the point he opens his mouth, he's doesn't act anything like he looks. So he's very deceiving too. And Of course, they use pictures with Hillary Clinton. Oh my God! Anybody, if that helps you trust somebody, I'm seriously sorry for you. Anybody that could trust Hillary Clinton, I'm not. This video is not meant for you because if you, uh, logic, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going there yet. So anyway, Dr. J. Holder is a chiropractor and teaches stop smoking, and that's what he specializes. It's addiction. Torque release program he does. It's called auricular or auriculotherapy. Auricular is with electricity and needles, and auriculotherapy is just with the electricity, locating the nerve endings, and just it's straight through the outside of the skin. I mean, it still gets there, it still does what it's supposed to, actually better. If you know what you're doing, and I do. And when I went to his class, I actually knew what I was doing. I already did the. I was already doing it for, God, a few years before I actually got the certification that I know you actually don't need. This is just makes people feel better, but the actual tool can be bought online. Same tool he sells, which he says his is a Stim Plus Pro SW103. Now, I haven't checked online lately, but when I went to his class, he says his Stim Plus is special. He sells it for $500, $600, $700 depending where you're at. He'll probably sell you your own house if he saw you on the street. Anyway, Stim Plus Pro. That's I think right now that's as high as you can go with Stim Plus. I mean that's the best model. They have made some changes to it through the years, very slight changes, but this special Stim Plus Pro does not exist. It's SW103. It's a number they made up. They have their own boxes over where J Holder. It's acacd.com. When you talk to them, they'll be scheduling you anywhere from Orlando to Las Vegas. Who knows where else? But not that it's not an informing class, but he makes it seem like that's what you need to get to do this. Of course, there's continuing education for these treatments, but you don't need to be licensed in anything whatsoever to be able to do this. That's where he's misleading about this. He makes everybody, feel that you have to have this special license. But this is a non-invasive treatment, and you don't even have. You shouldn't be going to anybody to do it for you anyway. I mean, get the tool. Find out where you get the tool, which the cheapest place I've found when I was doing the treatments myself, and getting paid for them, cheapest place I found was Stim Plus. The Stim Plus was, oh my god, Body Clock. Body Clock. And that's the people that make it, okay? Another claim Jay Holder makes is he says that he invented it. False. You call a Body Clock, you get in touch with the people that actually make these tools. It says right on there. I mean, he actually pulls it off and makes people believe him. I mean, but all the information is out there where this tool comes from. So, well, let's see what else here. What else should I go? The book. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said, but he charges $500, $600, $700 for the tool. You can get it for $100 to $150, depending which model you get. And the book you can get for $40, $40 to $60, depending which one you get. And the newer version, of course, is more updated and better version, and it's always going to be. He has one version he gets, and he claims that they don't make it anymore. There's a lot of mistakes made in all the new ones, and if you don't get his book, you're just getting lack of or the wrong information. Another BS scam. Another way for him to sell his book a lot more so he can make more money on the book itself. And then another thing. These you can get the tool yourself, you can get the book yourself, and if you're really, if you're having any problems with understanding everything that's printed out for you in the book, then go pay somebody like me $20, $40. I mean, I would charge somebody $20 an hour just to be with them and teach them what to do if they have any questions. And give them my knowledge. Unless it's a friend or a few friends or whatever, I'll hook them up. Help people quit smoking. I did that for 10 years and I got paid for it. So I mean, I love doing it, but the vaping came out and it just became a lot more unpopular, and I just didn't want to deal with addicts anymore. Didn't want to deal with the business. Didn't want to own my own business anymore. To tell you the truth, it's overrated. So yeah, I did that, and I did karaoke, running both at the same time, and I completely quit because I don't want to deal with people anymore. I tried not deal with anybody anymore. You can't trust them, and you sure can't deal with them. Anyway, Dr. Jay Holder also claims he invented this one point. He calls it the Holder point. Man, that's a point. That's right up in here. It's actually, I believe, it's been so long since I've done the treatments, but I believe it's a kidney point. He calls it a Jay Holder point. It's a point that's just buried up in there. You're going to kind of shove the tool way up in there. And I suspect by now there are actual tools that are a little easier to use than that particular tool, and maybe not. I haven't looked and really don't care. I have another tool I've used. I have a combination of the cold laser and the electricity. Now, cold laser, that is something you have to be licensed to use on somebody, or have somebody in the room there with you that's licensed to be able to do this particular treatment, because it is still going through FDA approval. The Stim Plus is FDA approved, but it's FDA approved for pain. It's Dr. Jay Holder. Another lie, he tells you that it's FDA approved for smoking cessation or addictions. No, it's not. There's no FDA code. There's nothing. Another thing he claims too, which if you use his method, you're actually going to be able to get the customer their money back if they were to claim this treatment in their insurance. He'll give you the codes, right codes to do it. But when you're sending these codes, you're actually committing an act of fraud. because it's the wrong code and you're lying about it. It's a deceiving code. It's like one of those gray area things. But and it keep one of those things keep changing, keep updated. But he'll keep you updated on the newer ones they keep coming out with. And but they're updating them for a reason, and a lot of times they get updated or changed is because they're being used incorrectly, and they're trying to change loopholes, just like drugs and stuff. You used to be able to buy Sudafed on the market, but people have been abusing that. Now you got to use your ID, and you got to put your name down, and they see how many times you take it out and stuff. And people that abuse the system, abuse drugs, abuse everything, make it harder for all of us to be able to do things as we normally need them. But this particular treatment, auriculotherapy, for stop smoking and pain, many different things. It's equally or and more, and in a lot of cases, just more effective than cold laser. Period. Electricity runs through our body. Without electricity, you can't live. And another thing, they say the treatment works on everybody. That depends on the person. That's another thing too. They don't tell you, and I've always told people, people have a lack of electricity in their body, and usually that means they're probably closer to death than the rest of us, at least. And with that being said, I mean, the lack of blood flow, lack of everything. I mean, the tool that I use, the Stim Plus, helps you locate the nerve endings, and it finds these nerve endings through the electricity in your ear, in the blood flow of your body. Without that electricity, you won't be alive. I mean, basically, but a lot of times the tool's not finding it. Doesn't mean you're not alive. Doesn't but these nerve endings are dormant. You don't really use your ears a lot, so there's sometimes a lack of blood flow in the ear, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're unhealthy. I mean, it's a lot to do with your skin in your ear, your cartilage, the thickness, so many variables that come in effect here. So, when you don't have a lot of electricity or a lot of blood flow in those nerve endings, doing the treatment sometimes not effective. I mean, a lot of times if you're not finding the nerve ending and you just go and assume it's there and then start zapping it, that assumption is very wrong. You got to be very precise. It's like kind of X marks the spot. You keep until you find that sound. Or using a metal detector, you're hearing this sound. Well, a lot of people don't have that electricity in their ears, so sometimes just to do so, I would to get the blood flow in the nerve endings, get things working. I would actually go and zap all these different parts of the ears just for a few seconds, kind of just liven up the nerve endings, get things going, and wait a little bit, and then go back to that area, around that area, and then try to find the nerve endings, and it would get things going, and it would work a lot of times. Not all the time it would. So but I would let everybody know that I'm not locating the nerve endings, and it's nothing to do with me. It's just the machine tells me where I'm at. I know where it is, roundabout. So having those two things involved in the treatment to help you pinpoint the nerve ending, is just giving your accuracy. But when it comes to the person, a lot of times it's the person's fault. The treatment doesn't work, and there's many different things I'm sure you could do outside of the office. I could get the blood flow. I'm sure certain nutrients. I'm not educated in that. I'm sure if I got educated in that, I could probably charge people more money when I was doing the treatments, because I'd have a little bit more knowledge of other things. But I never cared enough to get into that part of it at the time. Probably should have, but whatever. And anyway, point is Dr. J. Holder is good for one thing only. If you're going to be going for the stop smoking thing, is having that little certificate to make somebody happy and has somebody else accountable for your knowledge of what you're doing. But the one thing bad about this piece of paper, it's only as good as the paper it's written on. You can go to Office Depot, Office Max, or whatever, and get certificate paper, paper that's already got embroidered edges and different things on it, and all it takes is somebody to have the right program in the computer, and you scan that, you have that as your base and you go in there and you could put anything you want on it, change it up, do whatever you need to do, and make it look like a beautiful certificate. And somebody's gonna frame it, and most of the time, 99.999% of the time, nobody's gonna question that certificate. Why? Because a lot of people don't know anything about auricular therapy, so they just, and there's not a lot about it out there. And if you go online about it, there's so many. There's actually ear candling. That is a scam. Unfortunately, it is labeled as auricular therapy because it has to do with the ear. Auricular means the ear. All right. And with that, unfortunately, it's very easy to trick somebody with this ear candling thing. It's a way of novelty way of getting wax out of your ear that does not work. But I'm not going into that. But it's a scam, and having the word auricular in it, and people aren't educated, so they automatically think the treatments for stop smoking is also a scam. But they both have nothing to do with each other. But this auricular therapy basically is these are acupuncture points in the ear. That's really what they are. If you want to get down to the basics of it, and this would be nothing without acupuncture, and vice versa, because they would not know anything about these nerve endings that supposedly discovered 4,000 years ago. So it's kind of like before Christ or something, but or after, whatever. I don't give a crap. Not religious. So anyway, yeah. That's basically all I have to say. If you have any questions, please comment. If you have anything negative to say, just keep it to yourself. I'm just trying to help people out there to be educated in this person. You can go out there and do these treatments on yourself. I believe they're very effective. I know they work for a lot of different things. I am faithful 100% that they do work, but not for everybody. So it's one of those things you got to try yourself and see if it works for you. I believe you can use this tool for many, many different things, but when it comes to the ear, you can do it all through the ear. It's like your ear is a remote control to your whole body. So, not discrediting auricular therapy at all. I'm discrediting Dr. J. Holder. Okay? That's it.